What if everything you've been taught about life success, happiness, even reality itself was incomplete? What if your struggles weren't signs of failure, but proof that you were waking up? The truth is, spiritual awakening isn't just a peaceful, blissful journey. It's a radical transformation that shatters illusions, rewires the mind, and unlocks abilities you never knew you had. And yet, most people never talk about what really happens when you awaken. If you felt out of place, like the old version of you no longer fits the life you once knew, you're not crazy, and you're definitely not alone. Awakening changes everything. False identities fall away. Intuition sharpens. Fear disappears. You start attracting wealth, abundance, and opportunities that once felt impossible. But before that happens, you must go through the shift. And that's where most people get stuck because no one tells them what to expect. Think about it. Buddha didn't just meditate under a tree and magically reach enlightenment. He let go of illusions, faced his deepest fears, and broke free from the limits of his past. This is what true awakening demands. It's not about escaping reality, it's about seeing reality for what it truly is. And when that happens, nothing can hold you back. This is why so many people feel lost when they start waking up. They sense something bigger is happening, but don't know how to navigate it. They wonder if they're the only ones experiencing this shift. They're not. And neither are you. Because once you understand what's happening, you gain the power to move through it with confidence, clarity, and ease. And here's the best part: when you fully awaken, life stops feeling like a struggle. You no longer chase success, love, or prosperity. They start chasing you. Why? Because you're no longer operating from limitation. You're stepping into your true power. The kind of power that attracts everything meant for you without force, without doubt, without fear. So if you're feeling the shift, pay attention. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. And in this journey, knowledge is your greatest weapon. Because the more you understand what's happening, the more power you have to create the life you were truly meant to live. Ready to unlock the truth? Let's dive in. Something shifts when true awakening begins. It's not just about gaining knowledge. It's a profound self-realization that cracks open the illusion of who one thought they were. Identities shaped by society, family, and past experiences start to dissolve. The mind, once cluttered with external expectations, begins to clear. Beneath it all lies the real self, unshaken, powerful, and limitless. This moment is both liberating and disorienting. But those who embrace it start to see life through an entirely new lens. Suddenly, chasing wealth for status feels hollow. Prosperity takes on a new meaning. It's no longer just about money, but about inner richness. Some might leave jobs that don't align with their newfound truth. Others might rekindle long-lost passions. It's not about rebellion, it's about coming home to oneself. Buddha spoke of enlightenment as waking up from a dream. This is exactly that. The world remains the same, yet everything feels different. Old habits that once seemed impossible to break start to loosen their grip. Why? Because most limitations were never real to begin with. The mind, conditioned by fear and doubt, had been playing tricks all along. But in this awakening, one starts to realize their power. What once felt impossible now seems inevitable. This is where true transformation begins. No more seeking approval, no more shrinking to fit in. Just an unstoppable alignment with the truth. And here's something fascinating: this shift isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. A quiet morning walk might suddenly feel sacred. A simple conversation might reveal layers of meaning that were never noticed before. It's not that life changes, it's that one's awareness expands. And with that expansion comes a deep sense of connection with everything. The journey has only just begun, but the traveler is forever changed. With this newfound clarity, priorities begin to shift. What once seemed urgent now feels insignificant. Instead of chasing external validation, the focus turns inward. Abundance is no longer about accumulation, but about flow. The paradox? Those who embrace this shift often find prosperity coming to them effortlessly. not because they chase it, but because they are now vibrating at a frequency that naturally attracts it. However, this self-realization isn't always comfortable. It challenges deeply ingrained beliefs, often leaving one in a state of uncertainty. Friends may not understand. Family might resist the change. But those who trust the process begin to see that this uncertainty is a gateway to something greater. It's the shedding of an old self to make room for the limitless being within. The question is, will they embrace it or resist it? And just when this awakening feels overwhelming, something incredible happens. The false layers of identity start to peel away, revealing something even more profound: authenticity. This is where the real transformation begins. The masks come off, the illusions fade, and what's left is raw, unfiltered truth. But what happens when the old self completely dissolves? That's where the next step begins. The moment one steps into true awakening, the old self starts to crumble. Not because of effort, but because it was never real to begin with. False identity is shaped by society, fears, and outdated beliefs begin to dissolve. It's like realizing you've been wearing a mask your whole life without knowing it. And once you see it, there's no going back. The real you, the one beyond labels, expectations, and limitations, starts to emerge. But this process, it's not always comfortable. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack for years, filled with everything you were taught to be. Now, you're asked to put it down. At first, it feels strange, maybe even scary. Who are you without it? But soon, the weight lifts, and you begin to feel lighter, freer, more alive. This is where true transformation begins. The illusions of, I'm not good enough, or I have to be a certain way, start to vanish. And in their place, a sense of authenticity that's unshakable. But here's the tricky part: society rewards conformity. When someone starts shedding their old identity, it can unsettle those around them. Friends may question the change. Family might resist it. It's like being an actor who suddenly walks off stage. Mid-performance, some will cheer. Others will demand you return to the script. But the awakened soul knows the script was never theirs to begin with. They're here to write a new one. At this stage, many feel torn between their past and their future. Old habits, old relationships, even old thought patterns try to pull them back. But here's the truth: you can't unsee what you've seen. Once you recognize your true self, the old version becomes impossible to wear. It's like trying to squeeze into childhood clothes they no longer fit. The only way forward is growth. The most powerful shift happens when one stops seeking external validation. Before, decisions were made based on what others might think. But now, there's a deep knowing that no longer needs permission. This is where real confidence is born, not the kind built on achievements, but the kind that comes from being completely, unapologetically oneself. And when that happens, the world responds. Opportunities align. The right people appear. Prosperity flows. Of course, the ego doesn't let go easily. It clings to the past, whispering doubts and fears. What if you fail? What if people leave? But here's the secret. The people and situations that fall away were never truly aligned with you. What's real will remain. What's meant for you will find you. And the moment you stop chasing, you start attracting. Abundance, wealth, and purpose become natural byproducts of authenticity. And just when one thinks they've let go of everything, a new realization arises. Something even more powerful is awakening. It's not just about shedding the old. It's about unlocking something new, an inner guidance system that has always been there, waiting to be heard. As the old self fades, something incredible begins to emerge: a deep, unshakable inner knowing. It's not just a gut feeling, it's a direct connection to wisdom beyond logic. Decisions become clearer, and the need for external validation starts to disappear. Instead of second-guessing, there's trust. Instead of hesitation, there's certainty. This is intuition at its peak, a gift that was always there but buried under layers of doubt. Now it awakens. At first, this inner guidance might feel subtle, like a quiet whisper nudging in a certain direction. But the more one listens, the louder it becomes. Have you ever thought about someone and they suddenly call, or felt drawn to a certain place, only to find exactly what you needed? That's intuition in action. It's not random, it's the universe speaking through the soul. And when one learns to trust it, life begins to flow effortlessly. The problem? Society teaches people to rely on logic alone. Be practical. Think it through. While logic has its place, intuition sees what the mind cannot. Some of the most successful people, visionaries, entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders credit their greatest decisions to a feeling they couldn't explain. Steve Jobs, for instance, often spoke about following intuition over data, and history proves him right. But how does one strengthen this ability? First, by removing distractions, the constant noise of social media, endless opinions, and mental clutter drowns out intuition. Meditation helps. So does silence. Even something as simple as spending time in nature can sharpen this inner voice. Buddha himself emphasized mindfulness as a path to deeper wisdom, because when the mind is still, intuition speaks. Another key practice? Acting on intuitive nudges. When a strong feeling arises, don't ignore it, test it. Start small. Maybe it's a pull toward a book, a new opportunity, or a sudden urge to call someone. The more one follows these instincts, the stronger they become. It's like a muscle, the more it's used, the more powerful it gets. And soon, decision-making becomes effortless, guided by something far greater than logic. Some might wonder, what if I misinterpret my intuition? That's part of the process. Not every nudge will make sense immediately, but each step refines the ability. The key is discernment, learning to differentiate between fear-based thoughts and true inner wisdom. Fear feels urgent and anxious. Intuition feels calm and steady. Over time, the distinction becomes clear. And when that happens, confidence skyrockets. And just when one begins to fully trust this guidance, another shift occurs. It's no longer just about making better decisions, it's about feeling deeply connected to something greater. A force that has always been there, quietly leading the way. With intuition fully awakened, something profound takes shape, a constant, undeniable connection to the divine. It's no longer about faith alone, it's about experience. This connection isn't tied to religion or dogma. It's a direct link to the infinite source of abundance, wisdom, and peace. One starts to feel guided, supported, and aligned with something far greater than themselves. It's like walking through life with an unseen force clearing the path. At first, this connection feels like gentle synchronicity, seeing repeated numbers, meeting the right people at the perfect moment, or sensing divine messages in everyday life. But as awareness deepens, these signs become a conversation with the universe, a whispered reassurance during tough times, a sudden realization in moments of doubt, a profound peace that defies logic. The external world might remain chaotic, but internally, there's an unshakable calm. Many describe this as the feeling of being plugged in to divine energy. Some experience it through prayer, meditation, or nature. Others feel it in unexpected ways, a deep moment of stillness, a surge of inspiration, a knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. Buddha taught that enlightenment wasn't about escape, it was about seeing reality clearly and feeling connected to all things. This is exactly what happens here. One of the most beautiful changes? The loneliness that once existed begins to dissolve. There's a realization that separation is an illusion. The universe isn't distant, it's within. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment is proof of this divine presence. And when this connection strengthens, so does faith, not in a religious sense, but in the knowing that everything is happening for a higher purpose. Obstacles become lessons, delays become divine timing. With this shift, fear loses its grip. Why? Because when one truly understands they are supported by an infinite force, worry becomes unnecessary. It's the difference between swimming against the current and flowing effortlessly with it. Struggles still arise, but there's a deep-rooted trust that they serve a purpose. And with trust comes ease. Decisions feel lighter, manifestations happen faster, and prosperity becomes a natural state. Interestingly, this connection also brings a sense of responsibility. When one realizes they are co-creating with the universe, they start to act with greater integrity. Every thought, every intention, every action carries energy, and when aligned with divine wisdom, that energy shapes reality with incredible precision. It's no longer about chasing success, it's about aligning with it. Abundance, wealth, and fulfillment become inevitable. But just as this connection deepens, something even more powerful emerges. It's not just about feeling supported, it's about stepping fully into personal power. And that means letting go of something that has held humanity back for centuries: fear. Fear is the greatest illusion, the silent force that keeps people small, hesitant, and disconnected from their true potential. But once the divine connection is strong, something incredible happens. Fear begins to dissolve. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because perspective shifts. What once seemed terrifying now looks like an opportunity for growth. What once created doubt now sparks curiosity. And with that shift, confidence begins to rise. Most fears are inherited. Society, family, past experiences shape a person's beliefs about what's possible. But the awakened soul realizes something crucial. Fear is not truth. It's a conditioned response. The fear of failure? Conditioned. The fear of judgment? Conditioned. Even the fear of success, yes. That's real, is just an outdated mental program. And like any program, it can be rewritten. This is where transformation truly begins. One of the fastest ways to release fear? Face it intelligently. Many think courage is the absence of fear, but that's not true. Courage is acting despite fear. Imagine a person afraid of public speaking. They could avoid it forever. They could start small, speaking in safe spaces, gradually building confidence. Action dissolves fear faster than anything else. The more one steps forward, the weaker fear becomes. Doubt, on the other hand, is a trickster. It whispers, "Are you sure? What if you're wrong?" But here's the truth. Doubt only exists where trust is missing. When one fully trusts their intuition, their path, and the divine guidance always available, doubt loses power. Think about the most successful people, whether in spirituality, business, or leadership. They aren't free of doubt. They just don't let it control them. They move forward anyway. There's also a powerful shift that happens when fear for opportunities multiply. Why? Because the universe rewards boldness. The moment someone stops hesitating, new doors swing open. The right people appear, the right ideas flow. Wealth and prosperity become natural outcomes. It's not luck, it's alignment. Fear blocks abundance, while trust attracts it. And once this is understood, success stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like destiny. Many spiritual traditions teach that fear is the root of suffering. Buddha himself taught that attachment to fear-based thinking keeps people trapped in cycles of pain. The awakened soul understands this and learns to let go. Instead of clinging to old worries, they surrender to faith, not blind faith, but a deep inner knowing that they are supported. And with that surrender comes freedom, the kind that allows someone to live fully, love deeply, and pursue their highest potential. And just when one thinks they've mastered fear, something remarkable happens. A new sensation begins to grow that changes everything. It's not just about overcoming personal struggles anymore. It's about feeling deeply connected to others, as if their joy and pain are your own. Something shifts. When fear dissolves, it's no longer just about personal growth. A deep, undeniable connection to others begins to emerge. Their struggles, their joys, their pain, it all feels personal. But instead of feeling overwhelming, this heightened empathy brings something unexpected, a powerful sense of unity and purpose. The illusion of separation fades, and with it comes an unshakable compassion that transforms how one moves through the world. This change is more than just being nice or caring more. It's a visceral understanding that every soul is interconnected. Imagine walking through a crowded street and sensing not just people, but their energy: the mother exhausted from work, the child brimming with curiosity, the elderly man carrying years of untold stories. Suddenly, judgment turns into understanding, frustration turns into patience, and kindness becomes second nature. One of the most profound realizations? Compassion isn't weakness, it's power. In business, relationships, and even personal success, those who genuinely care create the deepest impact. Look at figures like the Dalai Lama, or even successful entrepreneurs, who prioritize people over profits. They don't just accumulate wealth, they create legacies. Why? Because the energy they put into the world comes back tenfold. Empathy, when combined with wisdom, becomes a force for prosperity. But how does one develop this deeper compassion without feeling drained? Boundaries. True compassion doesn't mean absorbing others' pain. It means holding space for their healing while maintaining one's own energy. Think of Buddha. His presence brought peace, not because he carried the weight of the world, but because he radiated understanding without attachment. Learning to offer love without self-sacrifice is key. Another incredible shift? Abundance flows effortlessly to those who uplift others. Why? Because the universe responds to energy. The more one operates from genuine care, the more doors open. A person who leads with empathy in business builds loyalty. Someone who listens deeply in relationships creates lasting connections. Giving doesn't deplete, it multiplies. This is why those who give freely often receive in ways they never imagined. And perhaps the greatest transformation? Judgment fades. The need to be right becomes less important than the desire to understand. Conflicts dissolve faster. Relationships heal. Even self-judgment softens, replaced by self-acceptance. This is why truly awakened individuals radiate peace. They've stopped fighting against life and started embracing it, flaws and all. And in doing so, they inspire others to do the same. But this new way of seeing the world comes with an even bigger revelation. It's no longer enough to just feel compassion, it's time to do something with it. And that's where life takes on a whole new level of meaning. With deep empathy awakened, something extraordinary happens: the realization that life isn't meant to be wandered through aimlessly. Every soul has a purpose, a mission uniquely designed to bring fulfillment, impact, and abundance. And once this purpose becomes clear, everything changes. Decisions become easier. Motivation becomes natural. Challenges stop feeling like roadblocks and start feeling like stepping stones. But purpose isn't always obvious at first. Many spend years searching, feeling lost, believing they've missed their calling. The truth? Purpose isn't found, it's uncovered. It's already within, waiting to be recognized. Think of it like removing layers of dust from a hidden treasure. The more one peels back fear, doubt, and societal conditioning, the clearer their true path becomes. And once they see it, there's no turning back. One of the simplest ways to uncover purpose? Follow energy, not logic. Notice what sparks excitement, what brings joy, what feels meaningful even when it's challenging. Purpose isn't always a grand mission. It can be as simple as uplifting others, creating, teaching, or healing. Some are meant to inspire, others to innovate. Some lead, others nurture. But all purpose, when fully embraced, leads to prosperity. Successful people, whether spiritual leaders like Buddha or entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, share one thing: an unshakable commitment to their purpose. They don't get stuck in what-ifs. They act, refine, and trust. The awakened soul does the same. They stop waiting for the perfect moment and start where they are, knowing that clarity grows with action. Each step forward strengthens the vision. Each challenge refines it. But here's the real magic: when one aligns with their purpose, life starts working in their favor. The right opportunities appear, resources flow in, people with similar missions cross paths. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. The universe responds powerfully when someone steps into what they were meant to do. And with purpose comes an unshakable drive. Doubt fades, hesitation disappears. Success becomes inevitable. A clear purpose also brings resilience. Why? Because those who know why they're here don't quit when things get hard. They adjust, they learn, they grow, but they don't stop. Think of a musician who loves their craft. Rejections won't make them quit because their passion outweighs temporary setbacks. That's the power of purpose. It fuels persistence. And persistence, in any field, leads to mastery and abundance. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. Once purpose is embraced, something incredible happens. Latent abilities begin to surface. Gifts that once seemed out of reach suddenly feel natural. Intuition sharpens. Creativity flourishes. The soul starts unlocking powers it never knew it had. Once purpose becomes clear, something fascinating happens. Dormant abilities awaken. Intuition sharpens, creativity flows effortlessly, and insights come with astonishing clarity. These gifts were always there, waiting to be unlocked. But before, fear and doubt kept them buried. Now, with alignment in place, they rise to the surface, transforming not just the individual but also the lives they touch. Spiritual gifts manifest in different ways. Some develop a heightened sense of intuition, a gut feeling that is never wrong. Others discover an ability to heal, whether through energy work, words, or presence. Some find they can manifest with incredible speed, turning thoughts into reality almost instantly. And then there are those who awaken their ability to inspire, leading others toward their own transformation. But these gifts don't just appear overnight. They strengthen through practice. Just like a muscle, spiritual abilities need to be exercised. Take intuition, for example. It grows sharper when trusted. A person who second guesses their gut feeling weakens it, while someone who acts on it reinforces the connection. The more one leans into their gifts, the stronger they become. Even Buddha taught that the mind, when trained, unlocks extraordinary potential. Monks who meditate for years develop abilities that seem almost supernatural: heightened awareness, deep insight, even physical transformations. This isn't fantasy. It's the power of full spiritual alignment. The modern world may not encourage these practices, but those who embrace them gain an advantage in every area of life. And here's where it gets exciting. These gifts aren't just for personal growth. They're meant to be shared. A person with healing energy uplifts those around them. A leader with strong intuition makes wise, prosperous decisions. Those who tap into their abilities create ripple effects, elevating others and attracting more abundance in return. Because in the grand design of the universe, gifts are never meant to stay small. But perhaps the most profound realization, these abilities aren't special. They are natural. Every human has access to them, but few unlock their full potential. Why? Because most people are stuck in lower frequencies, distracted by fear, doubt, and material illusions. But those who rise above, who embrace their spiritual path, step into an entirely new way of living. One where life flows with ease, synchronicities become normal, and abundance follows effortlessly. And as these gifts continue to unfold, a new transformation begins. The awakened soul no longer struggles to attract what they desire, it simply flows to them. Why? Because they have stepped into a higher frequency where success, love, and prosperity are no longer chased, they are magnetized. With spiritual gifts awakened, a profound shift occurs. Life no longer feels like a struggle. Instead of pushing, forcing, and chasing, things begin to flow effortlessly. Opportunities appear at the right time. Relationships improve. Financial abundance grows. Why? Because one is no longer operating from a place of resistance, but from a state of alignment with higher frequencies. Everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency. Emotions like fear, doubt, and lack vibrate low, attracting more of the same. Meanwhile, States of joy, gratitude, and confidence vibrate high, pulling in prosperity, love, and success. The awakened soul understands this and consciously chooses to elevate their energy, not just through thoughts, but through actions, environment, and daily habits. One of the simplest ways to shift into higher frequencies, surrounding oneself with uplifting energy. This includes people, music, books, and even physical spaces. A cluttered, chaotic environment breeds stagnant energy, while a peaceful, inspiring space enhances clarity and creativity. This is why successful people are intentional about their surroundings. They know their energy determines their reality. But it goes deeper. Alignment with higher frequencies isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's about mastering inner stability. Challenges will still arise, but instead of reacting with fear, one responds with wisdom. They stop seeing problems as setbacks and start recognizing them as redirections. This shift alone changes everything because it removes resistance and allows solutions to flow naturally. And here's the real secret. When someone consistently vibrates at a higher frequency, they become magnetic. They no longer need to chase success, love, or prosperity. Instead, these things are drawn to them. Ever notice how some people effortlessly attract opportunities while others struggle despite working harder? It's not luck, it's energy. The most powerful individuals aren't the ones who fight the hardest. They're the ones who master the art of alignment. This isn't just spiritual philosophy, it's practical reality. Athletes, CEOs, artists, and enlightened beings all tap into this principle. They enter a flow state where inspiration, action, and results come effortlessly. It's not magic, it's mastery of energy. And anyone willing to do the inner work, clearing fear, raising their vibration, and trusting the process can step into this level of ease and abundance. And now, with this alignment in place, something even greater unfolds. This isn't just about personal transformation anymore, it's about something much bigger. Because once one fully embodies these higher frequencies, their very presence begins to elevate others. They become a living example of what's possible. And that's when the true impact begins. Now that you've seen what truly happens during spiritual awakening, it's time to put this knowledge into action. Are you ready to shed the old, step into your authentic self, and unlock the life you've always been destined to live? The journey won't always be easy, but the rewards, they're immeasurable. Abundance, prosperity, and a deep sense of peace will become your new reality once you begin aligning with your true purpose and embracing your spiritual gifts. But here's the key. This transformation isn't passive. It's not enough to simply understand the process. You must actively apply what you've learned. Start noticing where you're holding on to old beliefs, where fear still lingers, and begin releasing those limitations. Start trusting your intuition, taking bold actions, and showing compassion toward yourself and others. As you do, you'll see doors open, relationships heal, and opportunities flow toward you effortlessly. What's stopping you from embracing this power today? Take a moment to reflect on the shifts you're experiencing. Are you allowing yourself to rise to your true potential, or are you still playing small? The universe is waiting for you to step up. Are you ready to live with clarity, confidence, and unstoppable purpose? If this message resonates with you, make sure to leave a comment below. Share what you're going to do to step into your power. Like this video to spread the message, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. By doing so, you'll stay connected to more teachings that will help you navigate this awakening and live the life you deserve. Remember, this is only the beginning. Your journey toward abundance and true self-realization starts now. Stay tuned, and let's continue to explore the limitless possibilities together.